Do more of what makes you awesome. Hi, this is Kalpana Reddy from Krishi High School. So today I'm here to discuss about class 7 chapter handicrafts and handlooms children. So before moving into the topic, I would like to wish you all a happy and a healthy morning. And as said, today's topic is about handicrafts and handlooms, right? So what exactly do you mean by handicrafts children? So handicrafts are like if I say in a simple word, handicrafts are the like products which are made up of hands, okay, handmade things, and handlooms is nothing but weaving children. So here we go. Basket making is a craft work that involves with the use of wild dates, palm leaf, cane and bamboo which are found in the forest. There has been depletion of forests due to their extensive exploitation for big industry. This affects the livelihood of people and force them to migrate from rural areas to the urban for survival. So here we'll take an example of a small village children. When you go to your villages, you find people doing involving in different occupations, isn't it? Some may be farmers, carpenters, weavers, cobblers, etc. Isn't it? So here, have you ever noticed about the basket weavers, those who weave the basket? So how they weave the basket and generally from where they get this raw material? So they use what exactly for weaving the basket is a craft. Not everyone can do that, children. Okay, it's a craft work so that involve the use of wild date palms. Wild date, you might have heard the tree's name, isn't it? Date palms, leaves, canes and bamboo. So you date trees, you know not? So the date palm leaves, canes and bamboos are used, which are found in the forest to as a raw material for weaving the basket. So these people, so from where they will get it? They'll get it from the forest. But what is happening, as we have learned in the previous classes, in the previous sessions, that due to the depletion of forest, we are losing a huge amount of acres of forest land in Telangana and in many other places, in other states also. So when once we are yearly we are losing continuously this acres of forest land. So then in future, like how these people will survive? Have you ever thought this? So from where they will get this all things? So this affects the livelihood of the people who are engaged in basket weaving or any other craft work, children. So in such cases, what they will do? They will migrate from the rural area to the urban areas. Rural areas means what? Villages, and to the urban areas means what? Cities, to do some other works to lead their family, isn't it? They need some amount to lead their family, to meet their financial demands, isn't it, children? So in such cases, what, they don't have any other alternate. So what they will do? They'll move from villages to the cities. See, generally, even if you take your families also, so some people are not not the I mean to say local of Telangana, isn't it? You people have migrated from different states. So why your father has migrated from your hometown to this city? To earn the livelihood, isn't it? To earn the livelihood, to meet the financial demands, to take care of the family, isn't it? So in the same way, these people are also migrating from rural areas to the urban areas, right? In the image, you can see how we weave the basket and all. Okay, so these are the date palm. Yes. So basket makers, people of Yerukula tribes are usually involved in basket making, live in a different parts of Andhra Pradesh. Their women's traditional profession is fortune telling. People of this tribe speak in a language of Yerukula Bhasha. Words from Telugu, Tamil and Kannada language are used in this language. So generally these basket makers, they are from Yerukula tribes. You know the tribal people, those who live in the forest. Yes, they have their own customs and ethics and religious, isn't it, children? They have their own beliefs. So these people, Yerkulla tribal people, they weave the basket. Okay, and the woman there, the woman traditional prof. So what the women will do? Generally, men's, they will weave the basket and then lead their life, earn the livelihood. And the woman, they will tell the fortune telling. Fortune telling means, you might have noticed in the movie Sodi Chapta, Sodi Chapta. Okay, so that is called fortune tellers. They are called fortune tellers and it is called as fortune telling. So people of this tribe, what language they will speak? Yerkula's Bhasha. So what exactly this Yerkula Bhasha? It's a collaboration, or it's a combination of Telugu, Tamil and Kannada language which are used in this language. So they mix up all the three South Indian language and they'll speak, children. Okay. So in the here you can see how the woman, this woman, she's telling she's weaving the basket, as well as I think she's telling this fortune telling also. She's a fortune teller also. Okay, so here if you see, you can see the baskets how they have weaved it. Handloom weaver in Pochampalli. So you might have, Pochampalli is very famous for saris, you know, no, weaving saris. Okay, so very generally the ladies, even your parent, like your mother parent, even she is also very fond of wearing Pochampalli saris, Pochampalli Pattu saris, isn't it? You might have noticed your mom purchasing Pochampalli Pattu saris from the shopping malls. Yes. So from where they get exactly this? What is the speciality of this and how they weave it? Let's go and see. Okay. So Pochampalli is a small town in Nalagunda districts. So the weavers here produce a unique sari called Ikkat sari. So the weavers, those who weave the sari, they produce a unique, means a different sort of a pattern, which is called a ikat sari, also referred to bandhani or pochampalli itself. It is also known as bandhani or pochampalli. Generally you'll have like they'll use colors and like I mean say somewhat like very very beautiful designer saris, student. So you might have noticed, if you don't know, you ask your mom, they will show you if, in case if they are having. Okay, Pochampalli saris have a unique design and color. They are highly quality silk sari containing simple geometrical designing. So simple geometrical designing. Okay, so geometrical designing is nothing but like I mean to say, like checks boxes and all. I have, but I can't show you right now. In the next class, if possible, I'll keep it ready and I'll show you, children. Okay. Yes. Pochampalli sari have a unique design and color. They are highly quality silk sari containing simple geometrical design. To make silk sari, raw material like silk yarn, color, thread is needed. So here to make the silk sari, what are the raw materials they use? Silk yarn, color, thread is needed. Okay, children. Rearing of silkworm is taken by a small farmer. Rearing of silkworms. You know, the silkworm means what? It will be in like a uh, you like I mean say like curve type. It will be like, have you ever seen silkworms? Yeah. So the silk yarn is produced out of the silkworm. So here the small farmers, what they do, they rear the silk, yeah, worms. How we rear the cattle and goats, in the same way they will rear the silkworms to take silk yarn out of it. Okay, children. So cotton is made into threads either in factories or as household craft. So they use cotton also, which is made into threads either in factories or as household craft. Okay. Weavers buy yarn and color from the market. So from where they get this yarn and color from the from color from, they'll get it from the market. Okay, everything will be available in the market in the nearby Pochampalli towns. So they'll get everything, all the raw material will be available, children. Okay. Yes. So here you can see Pochampalli Handloom Weavers Cooperative Society. So this is exactly the town, and here see, you can see the lady how she is weaving it. So this is what the framework what they have. So with the help of this they will weave the sari. Okay, children. So this is the tool what they use. Okay, and you can see the sari pattern, geometrical designs. Okay. So we have n number of designs, children. If you go like sometimes like if you like if you are happen to visit any malls, and you can just ask for Pochampalli saris. Definitely, you will get n number of designs. You ask your mom to just go and find take you along with them while doing shopping, and just for like I mean to say, just to view it, you ask in the counter. Okay, they'll show you, right? Yeah. So, tools. Weavers own the wooden looms. So, just what I have shared the slide, that is called wooden loom, which is the main tool for weaving. So, which is the main tool for weaving. For weaver, it is also important to know the design plan to make in the sari. So, prior to weaving, so they should have the design plan, the weaver, so that they can make in the sari. These designs are marked on special sheet of paper with a specific notation. So what they will do, so before weaving, they will mark the designs on the paper. Okay, children, with a specific notation. Weavers follow them without making error, and they will ensure that they will not do any mistakes while weaving it. Okay, children. Yeah. Stages of weaving sari. There are different stages of making the sari. The first of this is preparing yarn. So how generally they do it? how they weave it. So first step or the first stage is preparing yarn, children. Okay, preparing yarn. Silk yarn is wound on a bobbin. Silk yarn is means the thread. The silk thread is, you might have seen if your parents are tailors, you'll find the silk thread also. So that is wound on a bobbin. Yarns are marked with the designs which help them to identify color to be dyed into which part of the yarn. So the yarns are marked with the designs which help them to identify the color. Okay, children. Dyeing the color. Dyeing the color means coloring the like a yarn. Okay. Uh, Dyeing the yarn is a long process. It's a very long process. So each color is separately dried one after the other used for weaving. Okay, children. So each color is separately. So if in a saree, if you are using a multiple colors, so what happens, children? So each yarn is dyed separately. Separately. Okay. Is that clear to you? So when you dip three to four dresses in one bucket, and if it is like it if it lose out its color, children, so definitely this color will go and stick to the other dress, isn't it? So in the same way, if they club everything, so everything will get mixed up. So to avoid that, what they will do, what they will do, children, they'll dry separately each yarn. So here in the image you can see, children, dyeing yarn. Different method of drying yarn are followed. For the yarn is soaked in a mixture of castor oil and alkaline earth, then dried. Again, soaked, dipped in the alizarin paste, and finally boiled it, get red shade. For the brown shade, iron filling are added to the color. Dissolving iron filling in vinegar products black oil. So what they will do, children, first they will take how they dye, how they color the yarn is, first they soak this all the yarn in the castor oil and alkaline earth. Okay, and then dry it again. Okay, again what they will do, again they will dip in a alizarin paste and finally boil it until it get red shade. And for the brown shade they will add some iron filling colors. Okay, children, and they will also add vinegar, produce black color. Okay, so here you can see how they are boiling and how they are drying. Okay, yarn. So weavers problem. Handloom weavers are facing a serious problem. They face a stiff competition from power looms and mill-made clothes. So generally, children, nowadays, if we if you go to the like market, or if you go visit any mall, generally we all prefer the machine-made clothes, isn't it? Because there is a high competition in the market. We look for a latest design, we look for the latest update design, whatever is coming, this design, that design, this patu sarees, or like if you talk about what dresses also, you will have jumpsuit, then jeans, this brand, Peter England, and etc, Crayons and etc etc. Okay, children, so here what is happening, we the people, what we are doing. So even the girls, if you like if you talk about the girls, they like wearing chudidas. Okay, and of different brands. Liba is there. Like yes, yeah. And if you Taruni, like I mean, say brands are there like which are very famous and they are mill-made clothes. Okay, children. So we people are looking for the latest designs and updates. So here, what these weavers are facing a lot of problem, because weavers, for to weave one saree, it will take many days, children. But if we talk about the mill-made clothes, within 1 hour they'll make number of clothes. Okay, because machine works more faster than the human, isn't it, children? Yes or no? So what is happening, this mill-made clothes are giving tough competition to the weavers. The weavers are also not getting rate due to the middleman involvement. Fashion in the cities change fast. So here the middleman, only there will be a person, they'll engage one person who will take all this sari weave the saris from the weavers and he'll sell it in the market. So what he will do, he will tell that there is no demand for your saris in the cities because the people are looking for the updated fashions. So what he will pay, only the less amount to the weaver, and what he will do, if possible he will sell it for the higher price. If not, he'll take some percentage of it, isn't it? That means what, here ultimately who is a loser, the weaver is the loser. Understood, children? Fashion in the cities change fast. To know about the design in demand and to change their designs according Accordingly, they have to depend on the middleman. So here generally the weavers, they don't travel to cities and all frequently, children. So if they wanted to know about the designs and all, and if they wanted to know about the, I mean to say, updated fashion, they will depend upon the middleman. Okay, so raw material are produced in faraway centers. These give the middleman an important position in the handloom industry, and they get a large share of the price paid by the buyers of the sari. So even the raw material is also not available, very close to their villages. Children, they have to travel for a long distance. So for this all raw material and fashion and all, for transporting, for importing, exporting, everything, they'll depend upon middleman. So what this middleman will do, he will take the share of the price paid by the buyers of the sari. Understood, children? So ultimately, who is getting the less profit? The weaver, the one who is actually working hard. Okay, children. Yes. Now the cooperative. See here, these are the mill-made clothes. Okay. So these machines will weave the clothes very fastly within like a couple of hours, children. But by hand means it takes a lot of time and many days. Okay, understood. Here you can see the updated fashions and all. But this you can't expect with the weaving saris, handloom saris, isn't it? Okay, cooperative society. In order to overcome these problems, the weavers are encouraged to form cooperative society. The cooperative society are meant to help the weavers in buying raw material for their clothes. But these society are also not functioning well. Weavers are not given any role in the decision regarding procurement of raw material and sale of the clothes. This has once again pushed the weavers into the clutches of the middleman and traders. Distressed weaving families should be provided work for cooperative society and saved from the master weaver. So here what is happening, children? So generally, to overcome the problem of this middleman, so in the villages, so the weavers, they made one society for them, which will help out and which will work for them, which will provide, which will take the initiative to supply the raw material and to find the market and to sell their finished products. Okay, children. And here all the weavers will become the member of the society, but they will not have any role play there. They are not the part of taking decision, children. So only the like head of the society will take the decisions. And nowadays even this cooperative society are not working up to the satisfaction of the weavers. Okay, children, weavers are not given any role in that. This has once again pushed the weavers into the clutches of the middleman and traders. So then again they are facing the same problem, though they have formed a cooperative society expecting that it will help out to lift them. Okay, children. So distressed weaving families should be provide work from cooperative society and saved from the master weaver. Right, children? Yeah, so here you can see the cooperative society, Pochampalli Hand Weavers Cooperative Society. Here they are like how they have conducted, like I mean say, a gathering to discuss the problems. Understood, children? So with this, I'm going to just wind up the class. Okay, and here like I mean to say, your homework is um, like find out like so what you will do is I just yeah, what do you? Yes. So you, what you do, children, is you just cut down a piece of like cloth. Okay, if possible. Okay. Okay, we'll do it in the next to the sync, children. So just you write about the stages of weaving. That will be fine. Okay, write about the stages of weaving, how generally we weave the clothes. In the textbook will be clearly mentioned. You just go through the textbooks. In that like you'll find the topic stages of weaving. So that topic you learn and write by your own in the homework, children, and post it, right? So with this, I'm going to just wind up the class. Thank you for being connected with me. Bye bye.